This is a 2026 GMC Sierra 3500 AT4. And for now, Ford nor Ram have anything to compete with this truck. I borrowed it from Jerry Seiner GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. This truck is available for sale. Be sure to ask for Frank. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys see some of the options and features on this build. At the very top is the description with the color. So this is Summit White. And then this is a short listing of the standard features. Be sure to pause to see more. Now base price comes in at $73,600. And then here are all the options. DURAMAX is $9,990, and then this does have the Premium Plus package. It has a lot of nice features like the universal home remote, power sliding rear glass, heads-up displays in there, power running boards. Fifth wheel prep package was $545 with a high auto switch. Trailer tire pressure is $50, but it's more expensive if you buy it after the fact. Now destination is $27.95 for a total price of $91,715. I hear this a lot in the comment section. This is what you would consider a real truck. And the main reason why people say that is because it does have the long bed. So one thing I know for certain is this. GM has been the only truck on the market where you can get the off-road package and a long bed. Most of you guys know Ram has the Power Wagon and the Rebel packages. And so if you want those, they only come in 3/4 ton with the standard bed. Ford has the trimmer package too. Same story. You can only get the standard bed. However, they do come available in the 1-ton trucks too. So GM has kind of been alone here in this segment. But next year, Ford has decided to build a long bed trimmer. So can't wait to see that truck, and maybe I'll have a chance to put them side by side. But on the front end, Stormtrooper, definitely, and I like that too. I like the premium lighting you get. You also have those sequential turn signals too. You have like a silver accent on the front grille, and it does come standard with 360 camera, front parking sensors, red recovery hooks, and overall, I mean, I think this truck is going to age well. Now, when you do get this AT4, you don't get anything different on the suspension. Now, you do automatically get the Rancho shocks, but apart from that, everything else is going to be the exact same as a Denali truck, but independent front suspension and double wishbone. And this is the main reason why people buy GM trucks, because you get a better riding pickup. It does have the torsion bars, you can see right there. And then here is a quick peek at the tire tread. These are the Goodyear Wrangler Trail Runner ATs, LT 275/6520, which is basically 34.1 inches tall, 11.8 inches wide, 3,750 pounds of capacity at 80 PSI cold. And I've always liked the wheels. These are great. I see a lot of guys with the older generation of these trucks putting these wheels on just because of how nice they look. And I will say, long bed GM trucks look great. It's a big old pickup though. Now, just because you get a long bed truck, that doesn't necessarily mean you have a real truck. I mean, hey, some people don't need the 8-foot bed, and GM does have a pretty big standard bed, the biggest in the segment, right? On the mirrors, you have your turn signals. You have these forward lights if you're stationary. You guys see what's missing right here in the comment section. What is missing right there? AT4 badge. You can black these out too. You have more lighting, blind spot alert. All the trimming is finished in black. The only thing I wish GM would do is add a larger fuel tank. 36-gallon fuel tank, 7-gallon DEF. They do give you a transfer case skid plate right there too. And then you have some splash protection. It's like plastic and metal on the front end. And when you get the 1-ton, you get those 2 overloads. 5 leads in the main pack, Rancho shocks, liner. They're still using the wax coating on the frame, which will probably go away when they do the complete redesign, because the Canyons don't have it anymore. Out back, this does have the multi-pro tailgate. You have this light to shine down on that class 5 hitch if you're hooking up at night. Camera provisions right there, 7-pin. And I never point this out, but this is something that every truck should have. If Ford's watching this, they took away theirs. That's gonna give you some security for that spare tire, although what's under this truck is not that important. No one's going to steal that bad boy. And if you want the handle, that is available as a standalone option, which is funny. It used to come standard. 400 watts of power, bed lights. I do like the larger bed, obviously, because you can carry more stuff. And this fifth wheel prep package is right over the axle. On the standard bed, they do move it back slightly because it gives you better clearance. This glass, which is power, was an option. There's 2 cameras above. I believe this camera was an option. This is for your rear view mirror. This is for bed view. And clearance light, sunroof. Let's go ahead and check what's under the truck. As I said, nobody's really looking to steal that. If you get an AT4X, they do give you a matching wheel and tire. 342 rear, automatic locker, more Rancho shocks. And here's a nice side view of this truck. DURAMAX diesel, 6.6 liter displacement, and they did do updates back in 2024, so new combustion and turbo. I've had great success. I have about 35,000 miles on my truck, and so far so good. Now, 470 horsepower and 975 pound-feet of torque doesn't seem like much when you hear the torque from the Ram and the Ford. However, I think that this truck puts the power down the best. This does have a 12-inch ring gear for the single rear wheel, which is pretty interesting because Ram doesn't give that to you unless you go to a dually. Now, the 10-speed transmission behind it is no longer stamped approved until later this year, because they should start coming back out with that badging with the Allison stamp of approval. Denso fuel pump and injectors. Also, again, you know I got to put my plug in here for Banks. They just released the cold air intake. I have a promo code down below. That is a 100% must add. Also, the map sensors, you can relocate these out of the stream because of the EGR system. I just recommend getting that early on. That way you don't have to worry about getting those sensors really dirty. When they get dirty, they could give inaccurate readings for your fuel economy, and it could affect your performance too. Now, right over here, you can see 15W40 oil or 5W40. Also, there is a sensor now on the CCV, so you have to, unfortunately, get something from Banks, which is a part of the kit with their cold air intake, to basically keep that thing happy too. So I've had mine on for over 10,000 miles, and it's been amazing. My fuel economy did go up quite a bit. Let's check out the interior. This AT4 does come well equipped on the interior. As you guys saw in the window sticker, there's just a few things that you do add on. Now, that sunroof is an option, heads-up display, and that camera mirror also option. But these heated and ventilated seats come standard. 10-way, perforated leather, lumbar support. Love these floor mats too. They have removable carpet. And back over to the door, great accents. Also, seat memories. Your mirrors have the power folding and telescoping for tow mode. All power. Auto up and down for the front windows, auto down for the rear. 9-speaker Bose. And out back, great interior design. 60/40 bench. A little bit of storage right there. Also, right here, armrests. Seat back pockets, outboard heated seats on this one. I believe this is an option too. 2 USBs, air vents, and pretty flat floor surface. By the way, the antenna is still inside the truck too. It's pretty funny. Great storage underneath the seat. On this side, 10-way seat. And you guys notice on the roof, black headliner to match the rest of the interior. A little bit of storage up top with that velvet material. Also, you have glove box. This is your reducer for your receiver hitch down to a 2-inch. And then if you're looking to haul in the bed a bed camper, I wish you guys could see that better, but I can just call out 2,000 947 pounds of capacity for this truck. I'll show you the payload here in a second. So that's just for a bed camper. But yeah, let's go ahead. I'll show you a few things and then we're gonna go for a quick drive. Now I always forget to show you the drive modes, but right here, you guys see, you have off-road, normal, and tow haul mode. All right. Full drive auto on this one, electronic parking brake, and then your heads-up display controls right there. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'll try to brighten it up a little bit. Yeah, you can see it right there. Here's some of the info that you can see too. So it shows you like the adaptive cruise control, shows you a compass, and then your off-road pages too. So if you put it in four-wheel drive, it will show up there as well. And then of course this truck does have downhill assist. And if you put it in reverse, let's go ahead and do that real quickly. Most people know by now, 360's there. And I like that they give you a quick off button for that too. If you want to see out front or out back, bed view, they also have some grayed out areas. This is for your camera provisions on the back. So if you want to put cameras inside your trailer, or maybe you want to add a camera on the back of your trailer, you have that option too. So all in all, this is a really nice system. Very clear cameras too, and when you put it in bed view, it does turn on the bed lights. This menu obviously is going to be all customizable. I like to have my Apple CarPlay over here, or you can put it up here too. Have climate, a lot of ways you can customize in your settings. Dual climate controls right there, exhaust brake, lane keep assist alert, parking sensors, and you can drop the tailgate caution lights, and then traction control can be disabled. Let's go ahead and take it for a quick drive. As I said, I've done a lot of videos already this year for this truck. I just want to drive the long bed because I have not driven one so far. One of the biggest advantages to having the long bed truck is the longer wheelbase. That's going to help significantly with towing. So if you're someone who plans on towing a 40-foot trailer and you really want that standard bed because you like to look better, or maybe it just fits better in your garage, just remember that longer wheelbase is going to give you better stability towing bigger trailers, and you have to remember it's going to ride better unloaded because of that longer wheelbase too. So all in all, I think that the long bed is a good option for someone who absolutely plans on towing a trailer. But for me, I do like the standard bed better. As I said, I like to just park my truck in the garage simply because I hate washing these things. So it's going to get washed maybe 3 or 4 times a year because I can let it sit in the garage. But for some people, this is truly the better option for a lot more things. And like going over bumps, even at like low speeds like this, is not too harsh. And that's because of the IFS. But the other thing is, like I said, that longer wheelbase. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the other benefit of having a long bed GMC. Opting for the long bed does increase the gross axle rating out front to 6,000 pounds. The rear is 7,250, although that does not change. Now they do increase the gross vehicle rating 150 pounds to 12,250. And all-in payload is 3,697 pounds, 20,000 pound conventional. Gooseneck is 21,490, and then gross combined weight rating is 30,000. So this truck weighs on the curb 8,553 pounds. So that extra 150 pounds probably does get eaten up with the extra length. And I would like to see GM maybe offer like 400 or 500 pounds, just because that would put the truck over 4,000 pounds of payload, which I like to see for a truck like this. But be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Make sure your bell notifications are on, and I'll see you guys in the next one.